Welcome to Mystic Vault, your gateway to a world of hidden secrets, ancient knowledge, and unexplained mysteries. Dive into the unknown as we explore the realms of the mystical, the magical, and the uncharted. From ancient vaults filled with forgotten wisdom to uncovering the mysteries of the universe. Our videos take you on a journey through time, space, and the arcane. Unlock the door to a world of captivating stories, deep analysis, and enchanting discoveries, if you're ready to embark on a journey into the heart of the unknown. Mystic Vault is the place to be. Imagine the final moment of a life. When the last breath is taken, when all the sensations of the body begin to fade, and the world around you slowly disappears. In that moment, you'll realize that death is not the end. It is not a final full stop, but rather a doorway, an unexplored threshold. Behind the mist of life, there lies a truth that has yet to be unveiled. A wondrous truth about what happens after death. So, have you ever wondered what happens when we leave this world? Will we merge into an invisible universe? Or is there something beyond death that we have yet to recognize? These are the questions, the events in life that we cannot fully comprehend, that are part of a much larger story we have not yet been told. And in that very moment, we begin to realize that perhaps death is not an end at all, but the opening of a door to greater secrets we never dared dream of. When you step through that door, it is not into an endless darkness. It is into a new world, a world where the mind will become still and consciousness will no longer be limited by the physical form of the body. And in that moment, you realize that the mind, not the body, is what truly endures. In the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, there exists a text called Bardo Thodol, also known as the Tibetan Book of the Dead, which is considered a map, a guide for souls in transition. It is not merely a book for the dead, but a map that can guide the living as well. This book was passed down by Padmasambhava, a mystic spiritual master who brought Buddhism to Tibet in the 8th century. He was not only a saint, but also a man who understood the profound mysteries of the mind and death. Known as Guru Rinpoche, he imparted teachings on life, death, and rebirth, opening a vision not just of human existence, but of the workings of the entire universe. Bardo Thodol could be seen as a prophecy about death, but it is also a guide that helps us find our way through the fear and spiritual crossroads we encounter in every moment. It teaches that death is not an end, but an opportunity for us to truly understand our eternal nature. You may have heard of clear light, the pure light. This is the state that when we die, the soul encounters and faces its own true nature. In Chikai Bardo, the first stage after death, the soul is no longer constrained by the physical body and enters into a world of light where everything seems to fragment and merge into one. If the mind is prepared, the soul can recognize that this is the truth, the ultimate freedom, the everlasting light of the universe. This is the moment when all fear, all attachments vanish, and the soul reaches a state of absolute liberation, where there is no more individual self, no more separation. But not everyone can recognize this. While for the prepared, this is an opportunity for liberation. For those unprepared, that light may become a threat. Fear and attachment to the material world prevent the soul from accepting it, and as a result, it continues its journey through subsequent bardos. This is when we face illusions, images born from the mind, things we've accumulated throughout life. Imagine that you are no longer a body, but only a pure consciousness. One of the stages after death is called Chonyit Bardo, where the soul must face illusions, images born from its own mind. In this stage, the soul is no longer confined by the physical body, and everything becomes clearer than ever before. These images may be those of Buddhas, bodhisattvas, or light beings, or sometimes they may be dark, images of anger, fear things we've repressed throughout our lives. But what is the key point here? It is how we confront these images. Do we recognize them as mere reflections of our own mind? In Chonyid Bardo, the soul enters a state where everything is magnified. Every emotion, every memory, every fear becomes sharper and clearer than ever before. This is an opportunity for us to learn to understand ourselves, our unresolved issues, our unfulfilled desires. And then you will realize something magical. Everything around you is just a reflection of your own mind. They are not absolute truths, but simply the products of attachment and habitual thought. This is the moment when your mind can shift from a state of fear and denial to one of awareness and freedom. Now you begin to realize something important. Everything is a natural process of the universe, and what you go through is not a punishment, but an opportunity for you to understand your true self. In this world, life and death are two sides of the same coin. They cannot be separated. Death is not an end, but a transition, a continuous process in which every soul has the chance to learn and grow. This brings us to another crucial point: adaptability and resilience. In every stage of life, when facing challenges, suffering, or even death, the ability to adapt and recover is the key to finding that final light. When you face death, if you can see it as a part of the natural process, if you can see the illusions and realize that they are merely reflections of your own self, you will no longer fear. So what is important here? It is gratitude. Gratitude for life, for every moment, for both life and death. Because while we may not know exactly what will happen after death, we can always know that we can live a meaningful life, a life full of purpose, and a life full of self-awareness. Death is not something we should fear. It is simply a door. And if we can understand this truth, if we can learn how to live a life of awareness, discipline, and gratitude, we will never be swept away by fear or meaninglessness. We will achieve the freedom we have been seeking all along. So are you ready to view death as part of the great journey? Prepare yourself, because every step we take on this path is an opportunity for us to live with a stronger belief, with a deeper understanding of ourselves. And when the time comes, we will no longer fear, because we will have realized that death is just a door, and on the other side is a bright world, a world full of light, full of freedom.